Hello, this is Adrienne Igo, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside. And I am coming to you, it is now the eve of the full moon, the Leo full moon. And I've been documenting my, my trials and tribulations and whatever, over since this all started back in October. And so I wanted to just document some crazy feelings that I'm having right now. And there's this crazy ambivalence I have inside of my heart and my soul, and as a person, as a woman, as a individual who has gone through what I've gone through, and what I'm going through now, and what I'm experiencing now. And so I want to preface everything that I'm about to say by saying that, one, I was born with Cancer North Node in the 7th house of relationships and marriage. And when the North Node hit Cancer, my husband left me out of the blue, no indication whatsoever, except his behavior had been unacceptable, and I had pretty much cursed him out via a flame text the night before, because he had disappeared on me. I lost touch with him probably for about 4 days before he finally admitted he didn't love me and the marriage was over. And the thing is, I had known that this was going to happen. I felt like I was under this weird thing where, what you most dread comes upon you, that type of situation. But I just could tell there was many changes. I mean, I suspect all kind of things like porn and, sexual deviancy. And I did see alcoholism for sure. That was for sure. And going to the pub a lot and all that kind of stuff. And just choosing friends over his wife. Just choosing anything over his wife. Just not choosing the wife. It's like I didn't exist. And that was my big argument. I had been reduced down to, the image that you would get in a cell phone. No more than that. And I had no voice, no nothing in his life. Nothing. I meant nothing. So casting me aside, well, that was easy. I had been discarded and devalued way before it actually ended. I just didn't realize what devaluing and discarding and all of that stuff was. But after it occurred, I went into this deep, valley of introspection and deep investigation, and I found out about abusive relationships, about codependent relationships, about narcissistic relationships. I mean, he would never appear to be any of those things, but I know that privately we did have, a master-slave type relationship. That's what he wanted. That's pretty much how the whole relationship really started in. I just, I thought when I married him, I would have more voice, but I didn't. And as I began to have more of my own inner power and strength and pull away from that ridiculousness, the less I became attracted to him. Because what does a weak man know what to do with a strong woman? Really. And I'm a very strong woman. I realize that now. Much stronger than I was giving myself credit for. Because I had the inklings of strong power. But I was always afraid to grasp it and go for it. Well, the thing is, unbeknownst to him, and really unbeknownst to me, because I've never experienced it before, I've got Pluto on my ascendant in my first house. Pluto. I almost feel sorry for the man. I mean, he probably thought I was one person with Pluto in the 12th house as it was transiting through there for many, many years, I had learned to hide myself in more ways than one. I had gotten up to 500 pounds, at one time been in a wheelchair. I had very low, if any, self-esteem, lost all my dreams and hopes for myself, and pretty much was willing to go and hide behind the shadow of this man. It pleased me. Why not? Someone loved me, or so I thought. It seemed enough, right? But it wasn't real. It was part of the fantasy, one that I have by birth, by having Neptune at 15 degrees of Scorpio on my midheaven, oppose my moon, and sextile my sun, and trine my Jupiter in Pisces. But when Neptune came within trine of its own Neptune, well, you know, Neptune went retrograde. Scorpio, Venus was in my 10th house. I'm sure I looked extremely ugly to him in all ways, internally, externally, because Venus is in its fall, and I have Scorpio and Venus in my 10th house, and it was definitely being highlighted. It's been a very eye-opening time for me, because what happened, amazingly, was I had so much support from Saturn and Pluto, because I'm a Capricorn, and Saturn's at home, and Pluto has just found its new home, and it's kind of loving itself in Capricorn. It's been there for a little while now, and it's in my first house, and it just wreaking havoc in my life. I am too old to have done so, but I had a baby, or I lost a baby, which I shouldn't have had at my age, and it depleted my body to such an extent that I ended up in the hospital, and I'm still on muscle relaxers to this day. Even now, and I get scared, I'm on muscle relaxers, I'm on antidepressants, I'm on several things. I take hypnosis. I was left at the weakest time of my life, literally. It was a true tower moment, true. But the craziest thing happened at my tower moment. Something that no one would ever, ever, ever predict or suspect. But because the Sun and Jupiter and Mercury and so much emphasis was on my Venus, well, I simultaneously was attracting and manifesting strange loves, like love from afar, from various places. And the same day my Taurus husband, right, who's very repelled by all of that scorpionic energy, which is in my 10th house. So even me being an astrologer and my business, all of that was repelling him. But the very day I announced that I was separated, I got 13 confessions from men that I had not otherwise known or communicated with in any romantic fashion at all. I even got some help from a friend who is the hypnotist, and I among those guys is a guy I'm actually dating right now. I mean, we'll see where that goes. He's a Cancer. I'm a Capricorn. I know his chart. He's very vain and boastful. It's cute. He's very sure of himself. I have Mars and Leo in the 7th house. I have my North Node in Cancer in the 7th house. This all falls up in his 10th and 11th house. He loves my little crazy little Mars and Leo. Okay, and he loves that I love that he can shine. I'm down low in his chart. Hopefully he doesn't feel any threat from me. Most men especially if you're a woman and you've got Pluto sitting in your first house or on your ascendant and on your sun like me. Most men feel threatened. Most people feel threatened, but most men in general will feel threatened because that's a very deep, dark energy. And even when you're dealing with someone, they want to go deep. Like, I want to go deep. I think that's kind of the issue I have with my Cancer float on the surface kind of, I want to be your boyfriend guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm deciding if I'm going to be your woman. But he's like, yo, my woman, ooga ooga. And I'm like, wait now. He just, you know, because he's a very surface-oriented guy. And I know that. And so I don't want to get caught up and then, you know, something younger, cuter, sweeter, whatever comes by. And then that's it. Now, he may have some other hidden things in his chart, but I'm also an astrologer. And so I just know that for him, his best bet is to follow his career right now and do that. And I'm going to follow my career and do that. And I'm going to follow my whatever it takes to make me feel stronger and healthier on an internal level as on an external level. Because I think internally there was a great deal of healing that I'm still doing. And I'm grateful for the healing that I've been able to do on an internal level with hypnosis and with meditation, affirmations, binaural beats. I've been doing tapping, EFT, you know, stuff like that. It's just amazing what we can accomplish and what we can overcome and what we can do if we really stop and meditate and put good, positive things in place of where negative things may have been before. I think before I probably would have been, crying and complaining and blaming and all of those things that happens when something devastating like a divorce or separation occurs. I don't know, you know, where I stand in my marriage. I have no communication. We have very stilted, limited communication, which actually just really began several weeks ago. Other than that, I think over the holidays he's said a few things and I said a few things back that weren't scathing. You know, we're just getting to that point where I don't curse him out every time he shows up on Facebook. And I have no other way of communicating to him. I don't know where he lives at, or his address, or his phone number. What kind of marriage is that? So it makes it easy for me to just go, well, I've been abandoned. I'm estranged from my husband in every possible way. I mean, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, psychologically, spiritually. We're completely not in tune. He's going one direction, probably with another woman or man, who knows what he is. He could be gay for all I know. And I'm going in another direction, most likely with another man, because I know I don't want women. I might be by myself. I mean, maybe I'm just going to keep helping people and doing what I do. I don't know. Maybe I'll just get a little here and get a little there, from whoever I feel like getting it from. Just saying. That's what my hypnotist suggests. God is funny. Anyway, what I'm saying is this. When you have planets as strong as Pluto and Saturn transiting around your first house, it's just not a good time to make, well, everything's a serious decision, isn't it? Everything in life, it seems like a serious decision right now. And it may be. Everything in life may be a serious decision right now. There's no getting around that, guys. Caps who have that, and anyone else with that emphasis in their first house, you know, or around their first house. No matter what sign you are, if you got Capricorn rising or, you know, that going around your first house, you're feeling this. You're feeling all of this. And it doesn't feel good. I mean, you're trying your best, right? We're trying our best. We're doing our best. Because I was talking with Aquariuses last night. I did a reading for them. And I feel for them because I've got the setup of an Aquarius. I've got Capricorn and Aquarius going on. But Aquarius is completely intercepted in my first house. So I feel what many Aquariuses go through, I go through. Like I'm nervous about this full moon, this full lunar eclipse. I'm right now. I've got like this headache vice right across my head, right here. Like, now I do have Mercury in Aquarius at 3 degrees. It's 2 degrees in 24 and 44 seconds. I'm like, I'm going to be affected, right? I'm going to be affected. It's happening, like, all these aspects are happening to me. What? What? So upset. So it's going to be happening at 0.52 seconds of Aquarius. The sun's going to be at 0.52 seconds, the full moon, full partial, or full lunar eclipse is going to be happening. And I feel like I got a vice on my head, Lord. Oh, it's all on my Mercury. I came to make this video. I was going to make a serious video, but with the vice on my head, I thought, should I make a serious video? No, I think I'll ramble. I do monthly rambles, right? It's rambling time. I might as well ramble because we've got this full moon coming. I was going to do a live video, but since I didn't know what I look like, I'll do a live video in a minute. I thought I'd make this instead. Just rambling. It's astrological rambles. And, you know, this is what happens when you're getting older and you have nothing else to do but think about psychological, astrological things. But I read about the degrees that are happening. I read up on the aspects that are happening. But, man, I did not expect the pain behind my eyes. Oh, pain behind my eyes. I'm going to go look up what the Sabian symbols say. What do the Sabian symbols say for this day? For 0 degrees, right? Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Is that right here? Yeah, here's one of my Sabian books. What does this say? The other Sabian book. I don't know what the other one's better. I'll use this one. So when I roll it all in, let's see what I got here. I wonder if it says anything about that little vice on your damn forehead. Wait a minute, let me just see if it's at 0, if it's at 0. Oh, Lord. Everybody and your brother hasn't messaged me on Facebook. Bless y'all. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. People are always flirting. What is going on? Oh, okay. That's just... Okay, now we're just playing games here. Okay. I can put that down. Let's see if okay. Just want to see exactly where it is, if it's gone into 29. Ah! Oh, it's on my North. That's what it is. I can pout if I want. Okay, let me tell you what's going down. Okay. Just so you want to know what's going down, I'll tell you what's going down. First of all, Uranus is in Aquarius, is in Aries, and it's in my third house, right? Third house, communication. So I probably am coming off a little weird right now. But the sun is at 0 degrees of Aquarius right now. And the moon is at 29 degrees of Cancer. Okay, so all of this is happening in between my Mercury, my South node, opposing my North node, on my my first house, my 30, all of this is going down. Okay. So we're going to read 29 degrees of Cancer. A Muse weighing twins. We're going to read this because, first of all, the moon is at 29 degrees of Cancer. Second, my North Node is at 29 degrees of Cancer. I put down 30, but it's not technically 30. It is technically 29 because it's 29, 50 something. Also, I will read that Aries because Uranus is square the moon at the moment, and Chiron is trine the moon at the moment, and the North Node is technically conjunct the moon at the moment, but separating. Oh, no wonder I wanted the 30th. That rules inheritance. Okay, 29th. A Muse weighing twins. This is a symbol of man's continual, if not always evident, relationship with the over reality in which he lives and moves and has his being. Here, given an emphasis on the side of inner reconciliations. Inner reconciliations. Individual existence is always manifest as personality in the world of the senses, and as reason in a realm of eternities. Eternalities? I've never read eternalities before. And the effective union of these complementary functions is found in the immortal insights of a spiritual wholeness. A person knows himself now, one way and now another, and thereby realizes his integrity of selfhood. The key word is value. When positive, the degree is an effectiveness of judgment, irrespective of momentary contradictions on every hand. And when negative, an undisciplined perfectionism. The formula is critical, universal, generalizing, spiritual, responsible. Now, conversely, 29 degrees of Capricorn, right? Okay, so the opposite of 29 degrees Cancer. It is, of course, where my South Node is by birth. And it says, as I sip on my tea, a woman reading tea leaves. Some things we do, some things we are. A woman reading tea leaves, 29 degrees Capricorn. This is a symbol of man's persistent desire to establish conscious relationship with an invisible world of over-reality. Given an emphasis here on the side of outer or everyday self-encouragement. The mind has its ultimate focus in eternal and universal coordinates. and ever tends to fit the I never could say that word. Exigencies. Exigencies. Okay, I hope I'm saying that right. Exigencies. 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 Oh, I'm going to have to look that up. Of practical living into some pattern of possible consummations. So the mind has its ultimate focus in an eternal and universal coordinates and ever tends to fit the exigencies of practical living into some pattern of possible consummations. Conscious experience therefore comes to be supplemented by intuition as its direct realization of pure potentiality. The key word is signature. When positive, the degree is naive insight as brought to high intelligence in meeting the recurrent issues of life, and when negative, superstitious dependence on the unknown. And so I hope I'm going toward the high intelligence. Meeting the recurrent themes and issues of life. Which is what I started out talking about, isn't it? I started out talking about that, didn't I? I am going to read the 30 degree as well. I always claim the 30 degree because I'm at 2950 something. But I also want to say this because, well, we're at 2943.55 right now. So we're just moments into going. I bet if I refresh, we might even be at 30 degrees. We're getting very close to that opposition. We're at 2948. So 30, Cancer, 30 degrees, North Node. Well, that's where I have my North Node, but this is where the moon is on its way to any second. A daughter of the American Revolution. Wow. I hope everything's going to be okay in our country. A daughter of the American Revolution. This is a symbol of the enduring background in human relations as essentially dependent on an established tradition, and of a willingness to maintain it through a sharp rejection of any modifying influence of unsympathetic times or events. The emphasis here on an outer conservatism carries with it an implicit warning against any mere resistance to change, and also stresses the need for a life which is exemplary through its faithfulness to standards of proved worth. The key word is inheritance. When positive, the degree is an infectious pride in leadership through which a group is able to act as a unit, and when negative, the ultimate betrayal of selfhood by false assumption of superiority. And now we fall in my 7th house, so I should always be cautious of that. Never try to assume a false sense of superiority. Well, I've noticed whenever I've been in a position of leadership, there's always a mutiny. I'm not kidding. It's true. Okay, Capricorn on at 30 degrees. A secret business conference. This would be where my self-note is. That's funny. Secret business conference. This is a symbol of the momentary background in human relations as essentially the product of current activities and attitudes, and of determination to capitalize on any given situation through effective allegiances among the principal personalities involved. The emphasis here is on man's desire for an inner circle of associates through whom he may exercise a real control over immediate eventualities, and on his realization that in this fashion he may monopolize the resources of his fellows. The key word is opportunity. When positive, the degree is a gift for clever planning and successful administration in every area of life. And when negative, rampant selfishness and rank exploitation of others. Well, God bless me. I hope I don't do that, and I'm trying to avoid it at all costs. Although I do see the potential for me to do it, especially as I build my businesses that have opportunities in them. So it's so weird that opportunity and inheritance would be the yin and yang on my first and seventh house axis. I mean, if I give the opportunity and it's a sincere one, I could probably gain an inheritance from those I work with. But it would have to be a sincere opportunity, and I would have to be a sincere leader and not just someone who's in it for superiority reasons. Make sure, you guys, if you have your anything around the 30th of Capricorn and Cancer, that you really look at this opposition here just to see how it might be affecting you in your life. And then finally, I'm going to read this Leo 1 from this book. Now, I read Aquarius and Leo 2 in my video I made a few days ago because there were some other astrologers that were putting a lot of emphasis on 2 degrees because Altair is there. I'm not sure if I need to actually read them because I don't like them so much. But I will read the first of Leo in the 1st degree. So I'll do that in 1 second. Because I'm a woman with tea leaves, right? I really am. I always have my tea. So strange, it's in my 1st house. So weird that I'm an astrologer. Strange. Leo 1, a case of apoplexy. Apoplexy. This is a symbol of an overwhelmingly potentiality and of an ever-pressing necessity for genuine self-establishment and personal stability. Implicit in the reverse symbolism is man's complete lack of inhibition in his everyday makeup. Together with his ability to mobilize all his powers and even risk his own existence rather than accept any thwarting of his desires. Here's emphasis on the unbroken continuity between being and doing. The unbroken continuity between being and doing, or between identity and its continual manifestation of itself. The key word is irresistibility. When positive, the degree is creativity in the day-by-day expression of the self's real possibilities. And when negative, thoroughgoing self-indulgence and imposition on others. Wow. Irresistibility in the 7th house. I wouldn't mind that. So I guess that's coming up. By the way, even though I'm not reading, Leo 2 and Aquarius 2, their keywords are infection and accident. So I rather not put those into the universe. And so we're going to concentrate on that 0.52 seconds, which is technically either 30 degrees of Cancer or really 1 degree. And that's what we're looking at now, okay? So Aquarius 1, an old Adobe mission. I remember reading this before. It really has a lot to do with effective breadth of vision and a respectful, compelling depth of character, because it's about durability. So an old Adobe mission, Aquarius 1, my 1st house where my vertex is. This is a symbol of everlasting sustainment and of the necessity for both an overall orientation and an underlying stability in all personal existence. Implicit in the static symbolism is man's heritage of enduring ties, which he must neither neglect nor underrate, and so a call on him to remember his own true state at all times. Here is emphasis on the unbroken continuity between the psychological and physical certainties of his being, and a reminder of their continuing value to him. The key word is durability. When positive, the degree is effective breadth of vision and a respect compelling depth of character. And when negative, a lack of ambition and blind adherence to superficialities. I can see myself in both of those there, actually. Truly. Aquarius too, the unexpected thunderstorm. So upsetting. Let me just check something. I'm going to make sure exactly where my Mercury is. Just to be on the safe side while I got this going. Because it makes a big difference. All I need is the natal wheel. Let me see this right now. Is that 2 or 3 degrees? 3. Oh, thank goodness. Because I'm going to tell you guys, Aquarius 2 is not good. Aquarius 2 is not good. Aquarius 3 isn't that great, but it is a symbol of human independence, and that's me. It says, actually, carried to the extent of extreme rebellion, and I am. I'm a loner. I am a independent soul. I do have to be more, I have to, my keyword is defiance, by the way, for my Mercury. Says when negative, complete inability to follow the rules of any game. That's not true. But when it's positive, it's genuine psychological courage and a repudiation of all meaningless loyalties. Well, that's true. I guess I just got rid of one meaningless loyalty, didn't I? Huh. Weird. I'm at 344, but at 4 degrees it says therapy, and it's a Hindu healer. That would be amazing if I got a Hindu healer and a old woman reading tea leaves. It does say old woman, but a woman reading tea leaves and a healer. I guess in a way, when I look at these sometimes, and by the way, this is a book by Dr. Mark Edmund Jones. I've had it for forever. It's ancient, 20 years ago or something. It's just I've had it forever and ever and ever. So yeah, I like the old time books because they're the best. I believe, and I believe in looking at the Sabian symbols. Sometimes I can decipher certain things out of those Sabian symbols and really look at them and just sometimes they resonate with me. I find answers in those Sabian symbols. So if you're someone who hasn't really taken a good look at Sabian symbols and how you can, use them for information, they're very informative. Sometimes it's like, whoa, really amazing, really amazing. Like, the woman doing the tea leaves and the Hindu healer. I mean, what's the likelihood of an astrologer having that, right? A psychic astrologer, no less. Everything happens for a reason. There's less mistakes than we realize. And that's the truth of it all as I look at my progressed Mars in my 7th house. And the North Node. My marriage on the rocks with Mars and Leo progressed in the 7th house. Well, that's foretold, isn't it? Because that's exactly what Mars in the 7th house means. A rocky-ass marriage. Now, I do have the moon in my 5th house progress. I mean, I want to love my husband. I just don't think my husband loves me. So what can I do? When someone doesn't love you, you can, look. My little Cancer friend is winning. And the reason why he's winning is not because he's so much a greater guy, but because he tries harder and he shows me that he wants me. And I think that's important. If someone cares about you, or if they love you, or they don't want to lose you, then they do the things to indicate that to the individual that they love and care about and don't want to lose. But if you're not able to show that to the other person, well, you can't be surprised when they leave you and go to someone that does show them that. Because my friend did something to or for me tonight, which I probably meant absolutely nothing to him. But he's a musician, and he's a very good musician. Funny thing is, I did his horoscope, and I didn't even really know him. And I told him he was a musician. And so he called me one day, because after I announced my whatever, he was right on it. He was one of those guys. And he's like, I want to play this for you. I want you to hear it. And he started playing, and I was like, oh, I was right. I looked at his horoscope. I could hear the music. And he's amazing. So I had said, he was talking about some songs and he's been asked to sing in some bands or whatever. And I asked him to sing this one song that nobody in the world knows, I thought, but me. It's a song called Pretty Brown Eyes by Mint Condition. First of all, no one can sing the song. Hardly anyone remembers the song. But I love that song. It's my favorite song. So I asked him to sing it. And the man broke into the song and sang it perfectly. Sounded like the record. I realized at that moment, I'm on the right path. I'm like, I'm obviously on the right path. Whatever's going on, this is fine. I'm just going to go with the flow here. Okay, we're fine. I'm just going to go with the flow. That's kind of like what's going on, I think, with life. And I advise that for everybody what's going on with this full moon and this full lunar eclipse, and really with all this stuff going on with Saturn and Pluto. Like, if I could take a picture of my ascendant, it is flanked on either side. Saturn in the 12th, right on top of it, and on my sun. And Pluto in the 1st, right on top of it, but in the 1st. And my progressed Venus in the 1st, by the way. Where is that progressed Venus? Oh my gosh. It's sextile my natal Venus, exactly at 28 degrees of Capricorn. Right on everything that's going on. Let's look up 28 degrees. Oh, shit. See, this is why I do stuff. I know I shouldn't investigate, but some of this stuff is so more than coincidental, isn't it? It's just freaky. Wow. Well, look at this. 28 degrees of Capricorn. I mean, it's 27, 28. See, and this is so true. It has been in 27 degrees, my progressed. And it is finally going into 28 degrees, which is right where my, exactly sextile my Venus. But 27 degrees wasn't easy because it says a mountain pilgrimage. And it has felt like an uphill climb all year. This is a symbol of a pyramiding reality on the side of inner or spiritual realization and a complete harmony of all the ideals and values ever developed by man. Here is an indomitable integrity of human comprehension and intensification of every vision to which intelligence might aspire. The individual is encouraged to hold unswervingly to the ultimate course he has chosen for himself. The key word is perseverance. When positive, the degree is total reconciliation of mind and heart and an unquestioned devotion to some worthwhile task at hand. And when negative, satisfaction and superficial allegiances and a parade of false virtue.
Hey, Adrian, I'm not
oh my.
Send you a message and I'll get back to you.
Bet you.
Have a good one. Bye.
Oh. It was him. I'll call him back. Okay, so 28. A large aviary. This is a symbol of the ramifying differentiation of interests to be found in the many areas of normal life, and of man's gift for bringing any one special line of effort to the immediate services of another. His wide spread of aspiration is encompassed in the overall realization by which he has organized himself. And his everyday problems have their solution in his breadth of resources. His administration of human potentialities on this social level is his self-fulfillment. The key word is community. When positive degree is exceptional success in making all personal concerns a matter of common welfare, and when negative loss of all character in sheer officiousness. That means don't get all caught up if I get all rich and famous. Don't be all officious. Like, I'm the boss. I'm the BICH. I'm not going to do that, okay? Believe me, I thank goodness whatever is coming, it's coming to me after I've gotten older and more mature and ready for it. Because when you have a lot of power, if you weren't spiritually attuned, it could be really ugly. Well, you guys, I've read all around 27, 28, 29, 30 degrees, 1 degrees, 2 degrees, 3 degrees. I've read all around there, and I hope that some of you have gotten some insight over, what is coming in the next few days. Wow, 46 minutes. I did not know I took so much time. Anyway, let me go ahead and post this. You guys, much love, much light, many blessings, much healing, deep purging. We can do this. It's all getting better and better and better and better and better. And much love and light to all of you during the full moon. Okay, go dance by the light